Get the latest Zacks research, analysis, and rankings on exchange-traded funds in Exploring ETFs. We're going to check out some commodity ETFs now with our ETF strategist, Eric Dutram. Commodities, why are you zeroing in on commodities? What's going on there?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about commodities lately. We've seen copper, kind of slump here in the past couple of weeks. It's down, I think, about 13% year to date.
Right.
And so a lot of investors might think, hey, commodities aren't doing that well. But actually, we've actually seen some very solid performances, a lot of commodities lately. And I'd like to highlight some of the ones that have been doing okay.
What specific commodities are we focusing on?
Well, we're actually going to be looking at the agricultural space. And if you look at this chart here, we've got DBA, which is the PowerShares Deutsche Bank Agricultural Fund. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, it's this blue line on top. And it's really been outperforming both the S&P 500 and some of these other broader commodity ETFs, DBC, RJI, and USCI. All those three, they'll focus on a broad basket of commodities. But DBA just focuses on agricultural commodities, soybeans, coffee, cocoa, stuff like that. And these have really been leading the market higher, as we can see in that chart right here.
So what makes the DBA fund special?
Well, we've been seeing a lot of supply issues in the agricultural space. And we haven't been seeing these issues in a lot of the other sides of the market, be it oil. We actually saw the Strategic Petroleum Reserve shoot out about, I think it was 5 million barrels of oil. So oil prices have been kind of sliding here. But there have been a lot of drought issues, some other supply problems that are really boosting this agricultural space and making DBA and some of the commodities, more focused commodities, very strong performers in the past month or so.
All right, you're going to talk also with us about wheat and livestock.
That's right. Wheat and livestock are, they're both in DBA, but there's actually ways to play them on their own as well. Aptly named COW for the livestock fund. It holds cattle. It's about 66% in cattle and 33% in hogs. Mm-hmm. Hogs have been really surging here over the past couple of weeks because we've seen a virus hit the pig market, and that's kind of curtailing the supply.
Baby pigs.
Yes, and
4 million killed in this country since May of last year.
Yeah, and I think it's in Missouri and some of the other main growing regions down there, or producing regions, I guess is a better word for it.
Right.
And then cattle is actually at a high as well, thanks to strong export demand and some concerns about supply there too. And then meanwhile for wheat, we've seen, I don't want to say a similar situation, but a lot of supply problems and, once again, the Ukraine-Russia crisis. I know I highlighted that on the previous video, but this is actually impacting wheat because Ukraine is actually the 5th biggest exporter of wheat in the world. So COW and WEAT, which is the wheat ETF, these have both added over double digits in the past month. So they've been very strong performers in this time frame. And
then what's going on in Brazil is impacting coffee and sugar, right?
That's right. SGG is the sugar ETN that we're looking at here right now. It tracks front month futures in the sugar market. And a drought in one of the main growing regions in Brazil, which is a very big producer and exporter of the commodity, is kind of ratcheting down supply and making for a strong performance for this commodity. And then coffee, we can actually see this in JO is the ETN ticker here, and there's actually another ETN out there, CAFE is the name here. So they've got some great tickers here, obviously, in this space. And once again, droughts in Brazil are really causing the supply to boost here. SGG is up double digits in the past month. And JO is actually up over 50% in the past month. So might be a little more expensive next trip to Starbucks or anything like that in the near future. Yeah. So we've been seeing very strong performances in these 4 commodities, and these are really helping to boost the agricultural market and lead DBA over some of those other broader funds that we were looking at earlier.
All right. Own any of these?
I do not.
All right. Check out some more information on ETFs in the ETF section of Zacks.com. If you're not on the website already, get on over to the homepage. You can link to the ETF section right from there. With Eric, I'm Terry Ruffalo.